Hi, everybody. I don't know if you've ever taken my class before, but I love to work with straps. So I don't know if you all have actual yoga straps, but I know that you probably have a belt or a long towel or something you can use. And if you have a yoga strap, you're just going to weave it through the two buckles. Open the buckles and then weave it through the far one, and it creates a slip knot, right? So it's easy, and you want it to be just slightly wider than your shoulders, something like that. Now, if you don't have a strap, no problema, right? You're just going to use a belt, and you'll just hold, like when we do something like this to open up our chest, you'll be able to hold your belt without squeezing it above your head. So prepare your straps. If you have one, run and get yourself a belt, and then we're just going to set it down for a moment. Hopefully you have a blanket or a pillow that you can sit on to elevate your hips a little bit. So I'm going to sit myself back. And usually I like to be elevated because the older I get, the stiffer my hips are getting, regardless of how many thousands of yoga classes I've taken. This is just a fact of life. So I like to prop my thighs. And this is a yin class, a grounding class, but sometimes I get creative and I like to flow a little bit in it. And I don't mean vinyasa way, just like moving the energy that we release from the joints and the connective tissue, which is what we're addressing. But right now, just find your seat and think of your two sit bones and your tailbone. It creates a kind of a pedestal, like a triangle, or like a three-pronged plug, and just plug it into the earth, and you can just rest your arms on your knees, maybe give your knees a little rub. I don't know if I introduced myself. My name is Dar, and I teach here, and I teach everywhere, and I've been teaching, and I just told Michelle I think this is my 47th year teaching, and it's weird because I'm only 50, So just snuggle your little tailbone and sit bones into the mat. Let's roll the shoulders a little bit. And as you roll the shoulders, move your jaw around and squeeze your face up. Ooh, I just got like 3 cracks in my neck. And then make believe you're in like a big swimming pool and then you're doing backstrokes, but just use your shoulders. And just notice how your thoracic back feels tonight. I talk a lot about the heart behind the heart, the Hridara. It's between your shoulder blades. It's your heart centers here, but there's also a heart center there. And sometimes it gets really stuck. And then maybe use your arms a little bit. Notice how your arms feel, where the energy does and does not move. And then just come back to easy pose. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Notice if your hands got tense or your wrists and relax them. And then lift your head and drop your head to your right, your ear to your right shoulder. Making sure to release that jaw. And then just kind of bobblehead in slow-mo, back and forth, noticing if maybe one side is tighter than the other. Soften your lips against your teeth. And then just maybe bring the bridge of your nose parallel to the ceiling and imagine your hair were wet and just give it a little shake. And then drop your chin forward and just let your shoulders relax down. Take a nice deep breath right to that spot between your shoulder blades. And open your jaw silently. And then lift your head up. Let's start with the beautiful breathing exercise. I call this the goddess breath. Palms are turned up, arms are hanging right off the shoulders. Inhale. Easy through the nose, palms touch. Exhale through the nose. Hands come to Anjali Mudra. Inhale back up that center line. And exhale, the arms float on the air to your sides. So allow the breath to move the arms. The arms ride the breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can look up or not. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes to the fingertips. Inhaling, imagine you're just extending your spine. You're riding up the Sushumna, that central channel. And exhale, the arms float on the breath down. We're going to add a breath retention. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4. Through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold the breath in. Serene face, easy jaw. And exhale. If you're supporting your thighs with blocks, take them out. Just keep them close. Stretch your legs right out and popcorn them. And I like to touch the flesh. I like to have the heat and energy from my palms just come up and down my legs, across my kneecaps, maybe give my feet a little squeeze. And then you're going to cross your legs again, but you're going to put the other leg in front. And I'm going to re-support my thighs. Palms at your sides. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath in. Exhale. Hold the breath out. Inhale. Hold the breath in. Exhale, right hand to left knee. And I like to take the block behind me, left hand on the block. And then you're going to look out over your right shoulder. Relax your thighs. Inhale, chest is kite-like. Let it lift a little. And as you exhale, you start twisting to the left, and then the head just makes a panorama movie of your space. So you don't want, in other words, don't wrench your neck around like Linda Blair. And twist. And you're pulling on this left knee and your left palm is flat on the block or the floor. You're pushing the floor away from you. And I'm relaxing through my torso so that my arms are young and they're allowing my spine to do its first twist, maybe of the day. You're going to take that left arm and scoop it up over your head. The elbows are going to cross. You're going to cross the hands. Garudasana arms. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, elbows down. Nice and gentle. Just let them glide. Inhale. Think about that Kridara between your shoulder blades. Exhale. And inhale. Hold your elbows in line with your Adam's apple. Draw your arms over to the right and put your chin on your left shoulder. You either can close your eyes or gaze into your space and focus under your left shoulder blade and see if it's stuck or glued, and just take a few breaths there. Drop your tailbone, keep your plug plugged into the earth. And then slowly come back to center. Release the arms. Inhale, 1. Hold the breath in. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. That's the hard part. And then inhale up the center line. Hold the breath in without tensing your tongue. Your tongue wants to get rigid. Don't let it. Exhale, left arm to right knee, right hand behind you. You can come on your finger pads or put your fingertips on the floor. Inhale, look out over your left shoulder as your chest starts moving to the right. Inhale. And now slowly the head follows in slow-mo as you take your look around your space. Inhale, chest up. And exhale, pulling on that right knee and twist. Relax your lower back, twist. Twist more. And untwist. That felt good. Let's bring the knees up and let's take the legs out into a nice V shape. Now I'm going to stay on my blanket. And you guys, if you have 2 blocks or 2 pillows, you can put them under your thighs if that feels right for your body. Or you can just take a nice, easy straddle pose, this is called. And you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to be a Martha Graham dancer or anything. And I just want you to take one of your blocks, either on the outside of your right leg or on the inside, or maybe even on top of the thigh. Place your forearm on your block. And let's take this left hand and slip it into the waistline of your pants. I surprised you, right? And you're going to turn your palm away from you so your knuckles are right there against the flesh. And I'm pretty sure you all aren't wearing jumpsuits or cat costumes or anything. So roll your left shoulder open and twist towards the ceiling again. Take a few breaths here. Now relax your thighs, drop into your left hip. One more breath, 3's the charm. Open your jaw. Slip your hand out, swing it up and over, and come all the way towards your right leg. So you're getting a nice side I don't want to use the word stretch in a nice opening on your left side. You're going to bend your elbow and slip your palm behind the base of your skull and open up that left arm, point the elbow to the ceiling and rest your head in your palm so the neck isn't tense. Breathe into your left armpit. Drop your right shoulder. Yield to the sensations. Keep moving like, whoo. And then release the whole thing. Come on up. And for a moment, you're holding two supreme pizzas. Drop your shoulder blades so that they feel like they're sinking into your back pocket. Rotate towards your right leg. And you're welcome to use two blocks, or you can put one hand on the other on your shin, or you can just rest your hands on the floor. I'm going to use the blocks because these days I like the floor coming closer to me. And I'm just going to come down and drop my left eyeball towards my right knee. And I'm going to soften that left shoulder down. And I might even turn my palms up because the floor is closer to me with the blocks. Make sure this left buttock and thigh is nice and relaxed, and breathe normally. Now, everyone has a different edge, and I'm going to talk about the principles of the yin practice as we practice. So you have like a little roadmap, you know where you're going in terms of the parameters of the practice. The first principle is finding your edge. Now, some people are flopped right down, you know, with their toe in their mouth maybe, and other people might just be like this. So if you have an injury, or you can be like this as long as you're at an edge. And tonight, this is my edge on this side, left eye towards right knee, breathing normally. And the second principle of the yin practice is stillness, complete stillness. So you're not squirming around trying to get at this and that. You're just in the posture, and it's the smooth, easy breathing that lubricates, and you can imagine it as a lubrication of the tensions in your body. No, we're not doing ujjayi, we're just doing normal breathing. My tongue is relaxed. I can feel the moisture in my mouth. And there are three kinds of stillness: the stillness of body, the stillness of the breath, which means just normal, easy breathing, and the hardest stillness is stillness of mind. So see if you can embody your body completely and be in this moment in stillness. Now scan your body. We're about the 2-minute mark here. And you might notice there's a phase change where you're just like, you can exhale and you stop grasping, and you're just allowing the posture to speak to you. So we don't put ourselves into postures. We want the posture to invite us into it. Last 3 beautiful breaths. And at the end of your next breath, make sure all the air empties. And then inhale, lift your head, and you might find you're much closer to your leg and thigh than when you started. And come out of this with the use of your arms so you're not straining your back, because in the long holds, there's a fragility that happens in the lumbar back. So place your palms on your upper thigh, kite-like sternum. Deep breath, and just recover gently from the posture. And the exciting part is turning and facing front again. And because we're the kind of aliens that have two sides, you're going to place your block inside, outside, on your thigh, or nowhere at all. Some of you might want to hook your big toe if that makes you feel good. I'm going to use my block on the outside tonight. I'm going to turn my palm up. I'm going to take this right hand, and remember, it's going to go into my waistband, and I'm going to put my palm facing the back wall so that my shoulder can open. So I'm using the back of my hand and wrist against my tailbone to open up the right shoulder and just gaze up. And I just got tense in my feet, so relax your feet and ankles. Inhale. Exhale. Right hip stays on your mat. One more breath. And then you take that hand out and you swing it up like a big arc over your head. Elbow bends at the hinge joint. Grab the back of your head, lean your head into it, and open your chest, softening your face. Notice what you notice. Soften your shoulder blades towards your back pockets. Noticing that right nostril, just sending the air right into the full, larger right lung, and yield into it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring that right arm up. Come up. Oh, pizza delivery man. Right arm under the left, palms together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the elbows to the Adam's apple, take them over to the right, chin on the right shoulder, gazing into the space, and breathe under your right shoulder blade. Chest is gently lifted, thighs are relaxed, your three-pronged plug has you securely connected to the earth on Earth Day. And then come back to center. Undo your arms and just shake them up and shake them down. Shake them out to the sides. And then place your palms on your kneecaps and give them a little TLC. We're going to bring the legs together, forward. Pull your little meatloafs apart a little bit. Oh, look at that sunshine coming right in. And we're going to take a simple posture here. We're going to take this, I call it ragdoll, but Paul Greeley calls it caterpillar. And you're just going to come down, and another way you can do this is, I know these blocks are dark and I'm wearing black pants, but you can create a little block tower and put your head on it and just rest your forearms on your shins and hang forward. Now, of course, if your edge is up here, you can use a bolster, which on the ground on your head, or you can just let your head hang. And I'm melting my shoulder blades. I'm allowing my shoulders to soften open. And I'm sending the breath to tenderize my hridara, the heart behind the heart. They call that the universal heart. It's not about your personal relationships and your personal, the heart behind the heart is the way we are connected to all sentient beings, human, it's not just humans, but all beings. So just think of that on this beautiful day, that we actually share our hearts in common with trillions of beings. So you found your edge, which is different from my edge. Some people might be lying flat on the floor between their legs. I've seen that, and I'm very happy for them, but I'm not one of those Gumby people. So, but I did just notice I don't need my head support anymore. Now, if your mind is wandering and you're trying to find stillness of mind, you can take a mantra out of your toolbox called the Hamsa mantra, Hamsa or SO apostrophe HOM, and you hear the sound so on the inhalation, hum on the exhalation silently to yourself. So, and it's subtle and low, hum, and it just gives your mind a better ability to follow the breath. When you inhale, you think of broadening the ribs. And when you exhale completely and allow a little contraction to be felt perhaps above your pubic bone. So you're not holding hard there. You're softening into this forward fold. 30 more seconds in caterpillar. On your last exhalation here, you're going to really let everything out. And then you're going to lift your head first. Try not to roll out of these postures because we do hold them much longer than in another style of practice. And it makes the muscles fragile around those little vertebrae. And what I like to do when I come out of caterpillar is a counter pose where you put your hands on the floor or the block, bend your knees, and just arch your back. Allow your shoulder blades to kiss. Feel the throat and heart opening. Ah, it feels so good. And then come back. And now a little way to circulate the chi in the hips is just to back and forth. Hit the joggle, maybe look out the opposite shoulder. And now we're going to have a little fun and do an opposite position for the spine. Now you're welcome to open up your blankies if you have blankie. You don't want a lot of height under your hips, but I like a little padding. And you're going to come onto your bellies. Hi, everybody. Oh, my feet are on the that bolster back there, but it doesn't matter. So you're just going to come up onto your elbows here. And what you want to do is position your elbows slightly in front of your armpits. So they're not back here, but they're slightly in front and they're not wider. So they present a nice right angle. And I've been using my prayer to have a third point of contact. And because I'm talking about the heart, the meridian of the pericardium and heart come right down the pinky here. So you're actually slightly stimulating your heart center. At least I like to think that. Now press through the right elbow. Take a peek at your left side, down your left side. Keep your right hip anchored. And then come back and twist and look out over the right shoulder. Take a breath, linger, feel what you're feeling, the different pulls and tugs and sensations through the body. Keep yoga interesting. And every decade or every 5 years, your practice is going to change. And then come back. And then if you want, you can bend your knees and press down. So the yang aspect of this posture are the elbows and pinky pressing down, thighs, ankles, and feet. So don't flex your feet or do anything with them. Just make sure they're nice and relaxed. And I'm focusing on my spine like it were a big, heavy jump rope, and I'm just allowing my spine to drop through the soft tissue. So this is pretty much a back bend. So the spine is dropping. The intervertebral discs between the spine, they're called the nucleus pulsi. Yes, isn't that a great name for them? They're opening up towards the soft tissue of your body, giving your discs a chance to become lubricated and to keep their elasticity. Your jaw is relaxed, your lips are soft. And you can make a sigh. No one's listening. You're in the privacy of your home, probably. Now, when I did one of my yin trainings with Sarah Powers, she had us hold this for 12 minutes. And I went crazy. I got really angry at her. And I came out of it. And she came walking over. There was like 200 people in the room. And she came over to me and she put her little toe on my shoulder and said, "Could you please come back into," she said it in the sweetest way, like a little bird. And so I came back up. And when I gave it the time that she was asking for, something opened. Didn't know could open in me. So just let's take another 30 seconds here. Unclench your butt. Make sure you're not clenching the booty. Maybe your neck, maybe you want to drop your head for a moment. And then lift your head again. Oh, that feels good. Let everything go. And we're going to just float the feet back to the floor. And we're going to peel our spines down, and it's going to feel like Earth Day. And you're going to stretch your arms and put your forehead on your mat and take a breath, broadening the ribs. So hum. And then you're going to lift your heavy head and bring your arms back to where they were. You're going to make your hands turn into flippers by gluing your fingers together. You're going to turn them open, and you're going to bring your legs a little wider. So my legs, you can see them, my ankles. So we're not doing anything like this. It's very relaxed. And you're welcome to experiment. You can have them like Paulie Zink likes them out here. And you're going to come up to a locked elbow. And those shoulders now slide up so that they're supporting your head. They're supporting your jaw. Ah, now my spine is really dropping into a back bend, but it's a yin back bend. We don't have to stand up and lean back with our legs shaking. We have just a passive, beautiful, deep back bend here. If you bend the elbows, you're going to hurt your shoulders. So lock them. Maybe try to turn the crooks of the elbows up a little bit. Relax your face and jaw. Now, if your spine feels okay, there's no real bad, burning, pingy, weird feelings in it, you can bend your legs and put your big toe together. And feel free to rest the back of your head on the soles of your feet, like you did when you were 6. I'm making sure my palms I'm using all of my knuckles, not just the heel of my hand. My arms are young, they're getting tired, that's natural, but I'm allowing the time to marinate the tissues around my spine. So what brings me to the third principle of the yin practice is the magic of the practice is time. Marinating in time. Unclench your butt. And here it is, it's Earth Day. Peel down, release your legs. Oh my God, bring your hands into a cactus position and draw your right knee up and just put your left ear on your mat. And just breathe into that left kidney. And then change sides. Crushing the mic. Left knee comes up, right side of head on your mat. We sleep in this position for a reason. It really rests the fight or flight, the adrenal burnout that we experience from being in fear all the time or constantly pushing yourself to achieve, never giving a rest and digest moment. And then you're going to just straighten that left leg, draw your hands under your shoulders, and push yourselves up onto your hands and knees. And you're welcome to keep your blanket there. And we're just going to rock front to back. Inhale a little up dog heart. Exhale, pull the belly button in and maybe hover right above your heels. Inhale, up dog heart. Exhale, belly button sucks in. We're going to add something, tuck your toes under. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, press back and bring it into a down dog. Inhale, float the knees to the floor all the way to cow. Exhale, the hips come back and the belly lifts you into a down dog. Inhale, come up on the balls of your feet, float your knees down into cow pose. And then widen the knees, exhale, wide knee, child's pose. Oh, that should feel so divine, actually. I'm going to use a block under my head. Inhale, broaden your ribs. Look at that. My Sushumna is lit up. Look at that. Crown chakra. Woo! Inhale, broaden the ribs. Exhale, hum. You don't say it out loud. You just hear that vibration. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Three more breaths in your beautiful child's pose. And I still have my blanket there. And don't scramble for it if you don't. And then slowly start coming back up. And just come into a nice tabletop position. And you're going to bring your left hand to the center, like just under your sternum. You're going to take your right arm to the sky. Ha. Watch that you didn't lift your right hip too much. And then exhale right under that left arm, and you're going to come down so your hips are over your knees. Your left shoulder does not have to reach the ground. I have my blanket there for a little padding. My right palm is facing the ceiling. I'm looking to the left, and I'm breathing. Again, I'm focusing on the Hridara, the heart behind the heart here. I'm trying to unglue my shoulder blades and my upper thoracic back with easy breathing. So hum. My ankles are relaxed. Two more breaths. Ah, let out a sigh. Take a load off your shoulders. Slide that right arm back out. Maybe lift it up again. Drop a crayon from your belly button and just make some circles, releasing your shoulders. Just nice concentric circles on your mat. And don't forget to change direction. And then come still and take your right hand down under your sternum, in line with your sternum, left arm to the sky. Now, some people, if you have shoulder issues, you just take it out here. You don't want to strain your shoulder. Shoulders are delicate. You treat them badly, they never forgive you. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to come down nice and slow, scooping that palm up, and I'm going to rest this left side of my head on my right back hand. And I notice that on this side, my shoulder easily comes to the floor. I'm not judging my asymmetry. It's just a fact of life, breathing. So, hum. Notice if you can allow yourself to feel a phase change, just where you soften wherever you're still grasping. Two more big, sweet breaths. And then gently pressing the hips a little bit back, release. Use your hand and arm. Take that left arm out. Whoo! And sit back on your heels. And then just reground. Just feel your thighs, rubbing your hands up and down your thighs. And now we're going to have a little bit of fun now that we've opened up the shoulders. Now, I like to use my blanket under my knees. I don't like to be too high on the blanket in case I fall off it, but I want a little padding on my knees that are aging like the rest of my joints. So I have to be really careful with myself. In this 8th decade, am I in? I don't know. I think that's where I'm at now. All right, so you're going to take your block, right? And you want it on the narrow side, not like this, but on the narrow side. You're going to stick it between your thighs. Shouldn't have worn black today. And you can adjust your costume. So this, and I'm going to bring my knees together so I actually feel a lot of stability between my thighs. And then I'm going to take that little strap that I had prepared. You're going to take your strap or your belt. I'm going to slip my wrists into it. Make sure the tail doesn't slap you in the face, so keep it off to the side. And just bring your arms up with slightly bent elbows. Again, shake your head like you were just coming out of the ocean somewhere. Now drop your shoulder blades. And I want you to feel like your tailbone is heavy. And notice the little contraction above the pubic bone, which keeps your pelvis nice and stable. Inhale, broaden the ribs. Exhale, relax. Drop the tailbone, feel a little contraction above the pubic bone. Inhale. And as we exhale, Ardha Chandrasana, just let your right arm rest in the strap, or if you're holding it, and just let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. And you're going to allow your left nostril, and you don't do this, it's just like a visualization. Your left nostril is inflating your left lung. My arms are in line with my ear cartilage, not in front, not in back. Broaden the ribs. Exhale, bending, 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 and come up. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. This time it's the weight of the left arm in the strap that just draws you over to the left. Shoulders, hips, knees in the same plane. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Feeling those intercostal muscles in the fascia between the right ribs opening up with each inhalation. Paying attention now to the right nostril, the Pingala, it's called. Pingala Nadi. Keep bending, bending for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up. Now just gaze up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Make sure there's nice support between your wrists. If you're holding your strap, you have it taut. And lift your chest, and like you're going up and over a beach ball. You're welcome to tuck your toes under if that feels good. Now don't overdo it. Feel the stretch from your belly button through your heart, through the back of your throat, and to the tip of your tongue. And come up. For a moment, take the strap out, take the block out, and you're on your own now, no training wheels. And just kind of lift each leg like a little clamshell. Whew. And then come back and bring your hands to your back. So the heel of your hand is against your kidney, and the fingertips are pointing towards the floor. And you're going to feel a lift through the pubic bone as you press the pelvis forward. Shoulder blades kiss, but I want you to look down, not back. Take your back bend, looking maybe even into the screen or up 45 degrees in front of you. Gentle flap of your chicken wings to make sure your arms aren't tense. And just take some breaths here. Make sure the tip of your tongue, middle tongue, and back of the tongue totally soft. Now start with the tip of your nose drawing a line and allow the head, Ustrasana, camel pose. And come up. Ooh, mama. That is intense. That's a heart opener for sure. And let's swing around again. And I'm going to create a higher perch. To sit on. I'm going to swing my legs out in front, and my poor little knees need a little TLC. So use all that heart energy that comes down when you release your chest in those heart openings. You access your own healing power, at least I like to think that. And just give yourself a little TLC up and down the thighs. And let's swing the left leg in front, and let's bring the right leg behind. So my foot is against my right knee, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it slightly to the left and forward. So my shin bone is parallel to the front of the mat, if that's possible for you. And then I'm going to use my blocks because I have a boo-boo in my right hip. And I'm going to put them in front, and I'm going to come straight down. Now, some of you can come right down to the floor, I'm quite sure. My right knee is pointing to the right, but I'm not flopping on my left thigh. I'm coming straight down. I call this Z pose, like the letter Z. And you're going to drop into your right shoulder so that you're not flopping. So you're shining your heart, you're aligning your spine straight down to the edge of your mat. So your spine and the edge of your mat makes the letter T, and your legs are making the letter Z. And just come into this and notice where the epicenter of sensation is. And there may be a few areas, but we're thinking about the dense tissue around the left hip socket. We're also stressing the inner right thigh where the seam of your pants are if you're wearing yoga pants. And that's your liver and kidney meridian in there. And you're just breathing. Maybe open your jaw, let something bubble up from that dense tissue right up through the back of your throat and out. Remember, we're marinating in time. We're like flank steaks, and we're marinating the dense, the tough meat, in other words, in time. The magic of the in practice are the long holds. So hum. So this is a kinder and gentler half pigeon, or as we call it in Yin, sleeping swan, but it's a modification. So you maybe, instead of the strain of doing half pigeon, you're feeling this more with more freedom to relax around it. Three more breaths. That's about 30 seconds. And then you're going to gently ease yourself up out of it. Whew. And you can reconnect your knee to your foot. And we're just going to twist a little bit to the left. And I like to take my blocks with me. And I'm going to lean into my elbows and look under my left armpit with my right eye from my right big toe. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to see it, but I'm using this as, it's called the spiral. This is a beautiful posture. It opens up the thoracic back, which we've been talking about today. And just allow your rib cage to rotate to the left. The weight is evenly distributed between both arms. Do not favor one arm. Breathing, twisting, twisting. I keep looking under my left armpit. My back is slightly rounded. And we don't want to hold that one too long. Unspiral yourself. Roll into that left hip. Swing your legs out. Popcorn them. Push the energy through the meridians, right? Acupuncture, pressure massage, acupuncture, it's all coming together, right? The Eastern and Western ideas about the body. You know, the ancient yogis, they sat in caves 5,000 years ago and mapped out the meridian system of the body just by feeling the energy currents. You got to give them credit, huh? Swing your legs over to the left. Right leg is in front this time, or if you did it the other way, you just switch legs. I start with my foot against my knee, and then I move it away, and I point my other knee. And now remember, don't overdo it. There's nobody to impress. There's only feeling. And then you're going to come straight forward down the center of the mat. Your heart is drawing a line down the center. And on this side, I actually need a hip replacement, so I've been very kind to myself because there's nothing I used to think I could heal it. but it is occurring to me that I cannot argue with biology. So my edge is here, but so you might have your arms on the floor in front of you or your palms turned up, but this is my edge. I'm leaning into it. My left leg is behind me. My right shin is parallel to the front of the mat, and I'm not favoring that. I'm not flopping on my right ribs. I'm making sure that my left arm is getting enough weight through it as well. And then I'm breathing, and this feels really good because it's making space there where the bone touches the bone. I can feel that. Ha. Tip of the tongue, middle tongue, back of the tongue soft. Think of your eyelids like gauze curtains over open windows. Just soften your gaze and your eyes in the sockets. So, hum. Three more breaths. Keeping the so hum maybe subtle through the body, really feeling what you're feeling without judgment or analysis. Just have mercy on yourself. Last breath. Very mindfully and slowly come up. Whew. For a moment, just hold each knee and plug your three-pronged plug in. And then you can attach that back knee to the front of your foot. And we're going to spiral over to the right. Now that left hip lifts up a little in this spiral. You're going to bend the elbows and you're going to look under your right armpit with your left eye for your left big toe. Now you're not going to see it, I don't think, but that's what gives you this spiral. My back is slightly rounded and I'm just dropping my head because my neck is part of the spiraling out of my pelvis. I remember, and I've told this story and some of you may have heard it before, that when I first did this, it felt so good through my thoracic back that I held it an inordinate amount of time because I could feel muscles I had never felt before. And then very slowly come out of it. And you don't want to make that mistake because the next morning, I woke up and I thought I had pleurisy. I could hardly breathe because I had engaged and lengthened muscles that stabilized my center of my back. And it just felt so fabulous to just feel those loosening up, but they became stiff, you know, and I was like, oh, I couldn't take a big breath. I thought something was wrong. So don't overdo spiral. So if you're still in it, come out of it. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Right, so this is called butterfly. Maybe I like to stimulate the lines of energy in my body. And then slide down the inside of your shins with your elbows on your inner knee and just fold forward, balancing the pelvis back after all that asymmetrical stuff. When you inhale, you broaden the ribs, diaphragmatic breathing. When you exhale all the way until there's a little vacuum above your pubic bone. If you don't feel that, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you don't feel it. That's okay. Folding in this beautiful, spacious butterfly. Two more full breaths here. We're just holding this 1 minute. And then you're going to slowly come up your legs. Wow. Oh, that feels good. Hold under. Drop your shoulder blades. Maybe move your jaw a little. And then come up. And we're going to just windshield wipe a little bit. Back and forth. Rolling from one sit bone to the other. And we're going to complete the class. We're going to come into what I call seagrass. It's really super nice. I'm changing the configuration so you can see. I'm on my blanket. My pelvis is on my blanket. Or you can put a block under your tailbone. You're going to come back, shoulders on the floor. So first you want to find grounded, it's earth, find the earth under you. We're always in such a hurry to perform. Take a breath. And as you exhale, that belly sucks in and your legs float up like seaweed in Lake Mendota. And you're just going to move your legs gently around in the sockets of your pelvis. You're going to roll your head a little bit, allowing the floor mat to massage the base of your skull. And the blood and the lymph and the fluids are draining back to your heart, so your heart can really rest in an inversion like this. Feet are very soft, ankles are relaxed. If you want to draw your arms up over your heads, you're welcome to grab your elbows. And I'm experiencing a few micro movements with my legs, just like seaweed, seagrass, this one's called. Maybe allow the legs to open up naturally. Don't flex your feet, just let them open naturally. And then draw them back up. And the legs slowly find the floor like a moon landing. Feet ground you, arms come down, pick your hips up, slip your blankie out of the way. I'm going to put it right on my belly and come into Shavasana. Again, soften your face and feel like your head were like a wax candle, and just allow the muscles to melt away from your nose towards the floor on all sides. Lips, tongue soft. And you can reintroduce the Soham mantra if you want to. Check with your tongue to make sure the tip of the tongue, middle tongue, and back of the tongue is soft. And just with the hum, melt the barrier between your back, the molecules of your body, and the molecules of the floor. Remember, nothing's solid anyway, and just become one with this moment if possible. Forgiving yourself for everything. Take a few more breaths. On your next long exhalation, bend your left leg, put your foot on the floor, and press onto your right side in a modified fetal position. Resting your head inside your bicep. Notice how the heart moves to the center chest. The blood flows to the right hemisphere of the brain, the yin side. And then take your left palm, extend your left leg, and just like you had no bones in your body, just bring yourself up and once again into that posture we started in, the cross-legged yogi pose. And let's take the palms together at the heart, Anjali Mudra. Feeling the energy between your palms. May you feel safe. May you feel safe. To feel safe. May you feel safe. May your mind dwell on the beauty of life, and there's so much of it. May your body be pain-free. And may you live the rest of this evening with ease. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Zoom. All right, I'll see you in the future. Enjoy the rest of your evening.